Today we're talking about should you be friends with your team as a boss. So in today's whiteboard session, we're going to talk about why we care. We're also going to talk about a few pros and cons, and we're going to talk about some best practices and an important success key. So why do we care? Well, this could either fuel or derail a project. It could either excel or ruin your reputation capital as a leader of a project or organization. It could also expand or cloud your decision making as a manager or boss, and it could save or waste your time, money, and energy. And then last, it could also create a collaborative or a hostile environment depending upon how this works out. So let's look at the dynamic of a boss. So a boss is a person who is in charge of a worker. And in the verb form, they give someone orders. Here are a few scenarios. Well, early in our career or different time periods in our career, the event usually occurs where someone among the peer group gets promoted. Also, there's the scenario where you may have peers that you know of that you want to bring into your team that you may or may not have worked with. So when this happens, let's look at a few pros and cons. So let's assume these peers you've become friends with over time. Well, the pros are you begin to know them, you begin to trust them because there's that working relationship. You understand better how to leverage them for their strengths. You learn their styles of working and their thinking so you can figure out how they can best complement your strengths or your gaps and reinforce them or support you. There also begins to form this level of openness so you can begin sharing input and feedback. And they've also been vetted out. You know how they're going to work out. But then the cons are, because you do know them, sometimes there could be the scenario where they may try to manipulate you, they may want to take advantage of you, or expect that you're going to play favorites with them. They may even, at times, if they don't complete their work, give you excuses as if it's okay, and some form of lack of accountability. So here are some best practices. Number one, list these pros and cons for the scenarios or different people you have become friends with on your team. Know your specific blind spots of how you might get trapped up, and really know their styles, again, so you can understand better how to leverage them. Establish strong boundaries and set clear expectations for their roles. And then agree on protocol, because you are friends, the protocol of how you're going to handle input in different scenarios so that it is effective. And then set them up for success, because after all, they're on your team. And then the biggest success key is if they are on your team and they are a friend, then work with them first, because if you work with them first, then you get all of the aspects of the pros that will make this successful. So if you need additional resources about how to handle friends on your team as a boss, then sign up for our software now at projectmanager.com.